Hey guys, Mrs. Dalton here. Today's video is on dividing fractions. Division of fractions makes use of the reciprocal, or, ready for a fancy word, multiplicative inverse. Ooh. And dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So if you look at the picture here, it says a over b divided by x over y equals a over b times y over x. Do you see what happened there? So the reciprocal of x over y is y over x. So let's look at example 1. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, or 2 wholes. Example number 2, the reciprocal of 5/8 is 8 over 5. Number 3, the reciprocal of 3, remember that 3 as a fraction is 3 over 1. Its reciprocal is 1 over 3. And example 4, the reciprocal of 2 and 2/3. Now remember, 2 and 2/3 is an improper fraction of 8/3, and when you flip that over, you get 3/8. So you probably just heard me say flip, and that's sort of like what the reciprocal is called, and you'll hear us talk about that, and I think you're going to see a cool little vocabulary video about flipping it. Okay, so let's practice finding the reciprocal first. What would our reciprocal of 4/5 be? Okay, you guessed it, it's 5/4. So our reciprocal of 4/5 is 5/4. Now what about 6? Remember, that means 6 wholes. 6 wholes as a fraction would be 6 over 1, so the reciprocal would be 1 over 6. Great job. What about the reciprocal of 8/5? Just flip it, and you'll get 5/8. And let's find the reciprocal of 1 and 2/3. Let's turn it into an improper fraction first. So we've got 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Keep your denominator the same of 3. So now we've got 5/3. Let's flip it for the reciprocal, and we get 3/5. Great job. You guys rock. Okay. So dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So let's look at 2/3 divided by 3/4. You're going to take 2 over 3. You're going to keep that guy the same. You're going to change your division sign to a multiplication sign, and then you're going to find the reciprocal of 3/4, which is 4/3. From there, you're just going to go ahead and multiply like you learned last week and on this week's video. So you're going to take 2 times 4 is 8, and you're going to take 3 times 3 is 9, and that fraction is actually simplified. You cannot make those numbers any smaller. Okay, so let's look at the next one. We got 4/5 divided by 2. So you're going to keep the 4 over 5. I went ahead and rewrote the whole 2 as 2 over 1. So now let's move on to this last step here. We're going to keep 4/5 again. We're going to change that division sign to a multiplication sign, and then we're going to flip over the 2 over the 1, and now we're going to have 1 over 2. So just like multiplying, once you're at that point, you're just going to multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4, and 5 times 2 is 10, but we need to simplify. So we've got a proper fraction. We're going to simplify it by dividing by 2 on the top and the bottom, and we're going to get 2/5. Final answer on that one. Okay, on the next problem, we've got 1 and 1/2 divided by 5/6. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn that mixed number of 1 1/2 into a fraction of 3 over 2. You're going to take the 2 times the 1, which is 2, plus 1 is 3, keep the denominator of 2. And then we're going to go ahead and change that division sign to multiplication sign, and then we're going to flip or use the reciprocal of 5/6 and make it 6/5, and then we'll multiply straight across. 3 times 6 is 18, and 2 times 5 is 10. Uh-oh, looks like we have an improper fraction. So now we're going to take 18 divided by 10. Oh, what happened there? There we go. 10 will go into 18 one time, with a remainder of 8. So we'll have a mixed number of 1 and 8/10. Oops, just kidding. 1 8/10. There we go. And we'll simplify our fraction by 2 because they're both even. Keep the whole number of 1, and then we'll get 4/5. Final answer. And then on this last one, we've got 2 divided by 1 2/5. Remember, 2 as a fraction is 2 over 1. We're going to go ahead and leave it as a division sign for right now because we need to turn the mixed number of 1 2/5 into an improper. So we're going to take 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Keep the denominator of 5. So now we've got 2 over 1 divided by 7 over 5. Now we can find the reciprocal of 7/5 and flip it over. So we'll take 2 over 1, change the division sign to multiply, and then flip the 7/5. So now we have 2 over 1 times 5 over 7. Multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 7 is 7. We've got an improper fraction. So we'll take 10 divided by 7. 7 will go into 10 one time with a remainder of 3. And we'll get a mixed number of 1 3/7. Final answer on that guy. Okay, so let's look at 2 word problems using division of fractions. Okay, and just in case you didn't watch the video on Monday on multiplying fractions, because dividing fractions is as easy as multiplying them, make sure you go back and watch that. Okay, so we've got Helen, and she made 2/3 of a quart of hot chocolate, and each mug holds 1/6 of a quart. How many mugs will Helen be able to fill? Okay, so let's use cubes. We've circled our numbers and our units. So we've got 2/3 of a quart and 1/6 of a quart. We've got our question underlined, and I've boxed the word each for our math verbs. And each can mean, okay, either I'm going to multiply or I'm going to divide, but in this case, we're going to divide. So she's got 2/3 of a quart, and she is pouring 1/6 of a quart into some mugs to serve them. So we want to know how many is going to fit, how many mugs she's going to be able to fill using 1/6. So this problem is going to be 2/3 divided by 1/6. Okay, so remember, it's just like multiplying. We're going to keep the 2/3. We're going to change the division sign to multiply, and we're going to flip the 1/6. We're going to find its reciprocal and have 6 over 1. Then we're going to work straight across. 2 times 6 is 12, and 3 times 1 is 3. We've got an improper fraction, so we're going to divide 12 by 3, and hopefully you know your facts. Wink, wink. And 3 will go into 12 4 times with no remainder. So Helen can fill 4 cups with 1/6 of a quart in each. All right, last one. At the end of the day, a bakery had 3/8 of a pie left over. The 3 employees each took home the same amount of leftover pie. How much pie did each employee take home? Okay, so cubes again. We've circled our numbers and our units. We've got 3/8 of a pie, and then we've got 3 employees. We've underlined our question, and we've boxed our math verbs, again with the each, and this time this one says same amount. So if you're giving somebody the same amount, or if you're giving a group of people the same amount, you're dividing. So on this problem, we've got 3/8 of a pie, and we are dividing it among 3 employees. So 3/8, we'll keep that. We'll go ahead and leave the division sign because let's rewrite 3 wholes as a fraction, which makes it 3 over 1. So then we're going to come over here, and we've got 3/8, and now we'll change the division sign to multiplication sign. So now we've got 3/8 times 1/3, because 1/3 is the reciprocal of 3 over 1. And we're going to get 3 over 24. Now, it looks like you won't be able to simplify that fraction, but guess what? You can. because 3 is a factor that will divide evenly into, don't know what happened there, into both 3 and 24. So we'll divide our numerator and our denominator by 3, and our final answer will be 1/8. And that means each employee will take home 1/8 of a pie. Bam, final answer. All right, make sure you kept along with the quiz or with the questions. You will have a quiz on Edmodo over this video. Have a good time. Bye-bye.